This thing has a mind of its own. Pick your path carefully by whatever you can see. Begs you to help him out. He's covered in sludge. He can't get it off and it's making him squick-sick. Can you find a way to get him clean before he dies? Figures it can't be long. Feels like he's dying already. Says he figured out what he needs to get clean. See that giant toofer brush up on that tall sign? That would be the perfect scrub brusher.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
For a beastie, this mount is so gentle. Best part of a mount? No need to refuel. Out-of-date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war. Regardless, Out-of-Date is grateful the tribe war is over. Out-of-Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future... Out-of-Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately, he's had urgent news from his friend Wiz in the northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Wiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Wiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out-of-Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out-of-Date says that Wiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Wiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out-of-Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. We'll be around when you return. This won't be a Let's see. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. He's helped out of date to get the Ark hardware restored. There's just some wiring left to do before the vessel's ready for takeoff. He just needs to reroute the excessive high spark to run through the proper plug in the system so it won't break the path if it blows. Gizmo isn't sure you'll need to make use of the Ark, though. It looks like your efforts to save the tree and the world are paying off. He knows your good-hearted nature means you won't leave him behind, but you need to work on yourself if he's going to be isolated with you in the Ark. There are things you don't see eye to eye on. It's not that he doesn't care about others, but the fact that the Ark only has 4 extra seats means you have to be picky when choosing.
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why?
If you want to go quickly, go at...
But you know you can't.
He's been thinking this whole thing with the Ark through and has decided he won't be joining you. First off, he isn't 100% sure he's got the wiring right, and really, he doesn't think he can stand... Gizmo will always make time for you. Wishes you goodbye. You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. Let's see. Good to be able to get stuff done while the world is awake. That's a good sign. Small's Mart is a favourite thingamajig, bro. Let's see. That's an Aurora totem. Legend has it that activating the four of them together will form a band of your aura in the sky. This place can be dangerous. Let's see. The Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Wiz while you're here. Let's see. We all share the same destiny, destruction or survival. Wuz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Wiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Wiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Wiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go. He set up camp at the foot of the Tree of Life. It's gotten more difficult for it to find defenseless prey, as it's already eaten most of them. Wiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, he feels you've deserved revenge because of how you were wronged. You've suffered enough to make him pay.
Bam! The dark wins again. Right? Right?
You're always going to stumble with the dark.
Don't doubt the dark.
It's okay if I curse the dark just this once, isn't it?
I'm just glad to be on the winning side.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Thinks that kind of diversity brings strength. But that's not... Wiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. Can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made. Personal records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas. So much easier to see all the colors during the day. An old home. Could be something to it. That's the hut. Wonder if there's anything still inside. You need... Bullseye. Youch! You'll hurt bad. Nothing simple. It's locked. Couldn't just be open, eh? Just a few moves left. Make them count. Feel that sunshine. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Everything is at stake. Pa's place. Probably cleaned out, but you never know. For some, the night brings terror. Bang Shelter 11E. Just the place to ride out a storm. It's a cold zone. Even a thick coat of fur is enough to keep you warm here. If the mount didn't throw you, you're good. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo-Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the... It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head. Sound seems to travel farther at night. You found Snodesburg. Such a neat village. Well, looky there. A broke-down home. Might still be worth poking around. Oh, you get used to the beastly smell, I hear.
Pasado conto pa. Compata oh saplakoto mo ikanto pasabata chuchuchu.
Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him.
Mo ikanto pasabata chuchuchu pa.
Wonders who doesn't like rules or rails. They keep you on the straight and narrow and bring you right where you belong.
No kasabata so dokudo.
Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch?
Mala pambakchilda.
You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path.
Pambakchilda ko seidaba. Pore pakat.
Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead. Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Thinks that's fine, but there's no path in this world that's not been already made. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wing nut to get back on track. Wing nuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. Choo-Choo says he hopes this stopover is over. Says you're well... Let's see. Stay on top and you'll be fine. Low. So eager to die. There are things out there waiting for you. To get the ping dish to work, you need to line up the pong paddle. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's a match. Now you can ping all the dishes you like. Spin that paddle to turn the ping dish properly. No pings there, only pongs. 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 Pingety ping ping, you found a transmessage. Blasting everything to bits. When a story comes to you, pay attention. Beefed up. Scraps are everywhere except when you need them most, here and now. Careful, nothing's sneaking up on you. The Wingnut Chug Tunnel. It goes on forever. That'll teach him. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. You might want to fall back. Watch out for drop-offs. They can surprise you down here. Whoops. Feels like a monster's lair down here. Middle life. Hot metal. Right in the face. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wonder where we can get some ride shoes for the mount. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. Looking better than ever. You make that work. Can't be too many days like this left at the rate the world is ending. Choo-Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason, but he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo-Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. Choo-Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place. Hopes to see you again soon. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo-Choo has no use for it now. Choo-Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Figures Choo-Choo's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be. And needs no rails, no roads, nothing but air. The world's on the mend, so no need to leave it. But just think of all the places the Ark could take you. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why? You don't need any.
If you
But you.
After spending a life on the rails, he's eager to ride the skies with you. Just let him pack his rollerboard, and he'll roll aboard. Choo-Choo says he's ready to pack up and leave. Says talking to you was interesting. Let's see. Keep your wits about you. %50 done. Bang Shelter 10E. Toxanol put these all over the place. Well placed. Ooh. Half-lifed. It really is a different world underground. That's a handsome weapon. Future you can use that, but not you now. Heads up. Where are the control sticks on this thing? That's a crossway up ahead, like a question waiting for an answer. That's a fixer-upper. Individuals used to flip places like that. Imagine picking up a whole house. Should protect your legs. fierce. You're low on health. Oh, that helps work the kinks out. Evening's moving in. Becoming terminal. Don't relax. Everyone else around here won't. Itchy trigger finger. Sharp. You're going to maul your foes with this. That's hard to come by. Good ride long. Tell it, no biting. Grace under pressure. Wiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merkpuff until the octopod is properly armed. He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off. Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world. Do you feel safer? Let's see. That old home there's seen better days, but it might still have something worthwhile in it. That's a bang plant, where Toxanol used to make all sorts of splody things before it blew up in their faces. That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off. That's the rumor. Go, beastie, go. The pyro sticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least you should aim for the head. That's the Merkpuff's weak spot. Thinking doesn't seem to be his strong point. Wiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyro sticks, it squirts guppos. Scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Merkpuff in particular. Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gil. This means you'll have to go visit Gil at Burblebottom. Find Gil and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos. He used to run a pet shop stocked with guppos, but since they've become more difficult to find, he's diverted his attention to make them grow in numbers instead of giving them away. Bring on the night. Watch out for monsters. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. You should be able to use that. That there is a fuel foundry, where toxanol processed go juice. A bric-brac that's still standing. Now, that's a find. Let's see. This is Biomutant, residents of Gil. Happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you.
Must face with which
Claims to have been born swimming, but he must flap-flop clear of it during these dark days. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow? It's crazy hard to flipper against the surf, but you can't save the world if you let it sweep you away. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Thinks life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Wonders who would want to. The right wave takes you where you want to go. Can't imagine how wonderful it's going to be to surf on gooless goo. The world is going to live. Can't thank you enough for fighting against the goo. Happy you ride alongside the Myriad. They bring a real shine to everything they work with. Says they shine so bright, they glitter on the waves. But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there.
Nuff Tarnaman, Ula Ray, Kay.
Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills.
Chawari, Kofintra Bidwichin.
He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison.
Cameron of Sodson.
Figures you're right, but that doesn't mean he has to drink that.
Wash Kofintra Bidwichin.
His friend Wiz needs guppos for one reason or another, and Gil is ready to point you in the right direction.
Shiomage.
But here, you're only going to find dead ones. He's pretty sure Wiz wants them alive. Well, at least the ones that aren't already rotting.
Wash Skolneder.
If you head in the right direction, you'll find a clean enough bit of surf to snag yourself some guppos. Then you can get them to Wiz for whatever he has in mind.
Shiomage.
He doesn't have any guppos, and Wiz is particular about the kind he needs. The world is full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. This is Guppy Grotto. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Might not need that now, but you will later. Locked. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Made from strong stuff. Daytime means the clock to nighttime is ticking. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That seems to be enough guppos to provide the octopod with infinite ammunition. He's surprised the Merc Puff's been able to hold its breath all this time. It's just another proof of the evolutionary change caused by Toxanol's contamination. Being undersurf has meant the Merc Puff has been left alone to munch on the root down there undisturbed. This means the northwest route has suffered more damage than the others. He's sure there's enough time to confront the Merc Puff, but he worries if the world has enough years left to last his lifetime, even if you stop the World Eaters. That was the last of them. You've sealed the fate of the tribe and the tree. It's time for the end game. You have your destiny. Follow it all the way back to Out of Date. He never told anyone about what's next, but he's sure it involves you. Just continue to stay true to yourself and respect others whatever happens. You've become their pride, the guiding light of the tribe. He's learned you discovered and activated the last of the arcs. How exciting. That's the only word that really works for it, he's sure. Just imagine how much more of the world you can see in the Ark, now that the world's still going to be around. You fought well for the world. You can be proud of that, no matter what. Questions if you could possibly have any open spaces left for fellow travelers on that Ark of yours.
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why?
If you
But you know...
Almost can't speak. He's so happy to be joining your voyage, to conquer the skies and everything beyond. Wiz knows it's the same old, but he likes talking to you. Understands you have other places you need to go. Out of Date says the signs of the end of the world are everywhere. It seems nature is preparing to take revenge. The day of reckoning is coming, and you are invited. He can feel you're approaching the end date. If you haven't decided whom of all like-minded, light-hearted beings you've met have earned a seat on the Ark yet, it's time to do that now. Then grasp your last chance to make sure Lupa Lupin stopped for good. The tree settled its score, but it left yours half done. He says you need to see Lupa Lupin eye to eye one last time. He's happy to help. Says you should take it easy. Don't be feary. It probably won't bite. The Sifu is seeking revenge too. He hasn't forgotten what Lupa Lupin did, but he also wants to stop him from attacking his tribe. That the world seems to survive doesn't mean he must. He hopes you agree, even if it goes against your light-hearted nature. There's no room for predators in the world the Myriad tribe is building. But he knows this is your fight. You should handle it. Lupa Lupin's own fear was his shackles, not the roots of the tree. It just changed him. You have a chance to stand back and let the tribe handle it. The Sifu is ready to step into the fray. Are the odds about to change in your favor? If a friend dies, something inside you dies. You can save the seafood by making yourself a target. You're up. Shockwaves spread when the world crumbles. This is not a prophecy, me telling you about the future. It's you shaping it. Here's a vulgar display of power. The more he does, the stronger he becomes. who the real enemy is and stop playing the game his way. This is how it ends. The Predator and the world itself suffering. But at least it's a sign they're both still alive.
So, what we have here is a clear matter of life and death, and only you can make a difference.
That was unexpected, but welcomed. The big bad Predator left for dead. I wouldn't have wanted to miss this for the world.
I think the thing we're really missing here is someone with a heart and soul. The only thing we've got left are those who've lost their minds.
Heart and soul, life and death are one thread. The same line viewed from different sides. It's just that my side is so much better.
Well, anyone in their right mind can see you're lost. But you're right about the thread. Unfortunately, it's been very dark and has run throughout, taken friends, parents, and now yet another life.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. There's no peace without forgiveness. It's no better time than now to accept a helping hand. Do you wonder what turn life might have taken if you'd done things different? A left when you went right? A yes when you said no? You've walked the thin line between survival and disaster and haven't lost your balance yet. It's because of you the Tree of Life and the world has been given a second chance. You carried the light in a world full of dark and made a difference in a place that needed change. You allied with the Myriad tribe and acted on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. However, light and dark does simply represent the polarities of life. One can't exist without the other. This isn't the end. Just being surrounded by nature as it heals itself will rejuvenate us. Nature will teach us how to survive. So, trust your conscience to show you the way, and everything else will follow. As foretold, you were destined to split the chains of this world. But you're not alone. You filled the Ark, and those that shared your perspective and gained your trust will accompany you on your journey. Is there a world out there that's better suited for those imbalanced in their light nature than this one? Whether or not, we'll leave your story on record, so those who come after will know you followed your light nature and saved the world. So, when all is said and done, it turned out to be an unusual ending after all. What could be better than ending the story the right way? Ending it your way, a beginning of something new.